Party Leader, Representative Larry Cafero.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for purposes of an introduction, if I may.
Please proceed, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had opening day early last month, and I did not have a chance because of the inclement weather to have my family up, but I am fortunate enough to have them today, and I'd be honored if I can introduce them. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Chamber, I'd like to introduce you to my family. I have several family members here, and I'm going to start with the best, my partner in life, my wife for over 30 years, the glue that keeps us together, my wife Barbara. Thank you so much. I think Barb and I would agree that no matter what we ever have done in life or can ever do, nothing can top our three greatest accomplishments, and those are our three children. Two of my children live in New York City. My youngest attends the University of Virginia, and there was absolutely no expectation that he would be here today until I got home last night and he popped out from behind a door and drove 7.5 hours to be here. Barb and I are truly blessed with three incredible children. I'd like to introduce them to you. My eldest, my daughter Jacqueline, my son Christopher, and my son Nicholas. Thank you. My brother is my kid brother, just me and him, and he was the best man at my wedding. He's been the best man of my life, my brother Don. And just so you don't get bad knees, I want to introduce the rest of my family who's here. My cousins, Joseph Oddie, Christine Gervitz, and Mark Gervitz, and my brother-in-law, Walter Englert. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said early last month, we gavelled in the 2014 legislative session. For me, it was my 22nd, and as most of you by now know, it is going to be my last. After 22 years in this magnificent building, it's time for me to move on. And I asked the Speaker, who was gracious enough to give me this opportunity, to basically say thank you. A goodbye is too early. We have a session ahead of us and a few more months in our term. But an opportunity to say thank you for giving me the most incredible opportunity I could ever dream of to serve this wonderful state. So I'm going to start with my thank yous. And if you'll indulge me, because there are so many people and things that I'd like to reference, I promise I won't take long. First and foremost, I want to thank my parents. They're not here today, but I am blessed that they're with me. Yesterday was my father's 94th birthday, and he celebrated it well. If they're watching, I love you. My mother and father are, as most parents are, just incredible sources of strength. My father always said to my brother and I as a kid, he said, you know, if at the end of the day you could say that you made this little piece of the world you live in a better place, you've done a good thing. And my brother and I have tried to live by that, but we are blessed to have those wonderful two people in our lives. My father also used to say in Italian, primo figlio, secondo padre. The first son is the second father. And as my wife often reminds me, they tied my shoes when I couldn't, and maybe it's our turn to tie theirs. So I'm looking forward to that very, very much. I mentioned my immediate family. Like all our families, we could not do this without them, without their support. And boy, do they make the sacrifices, the missed games, the empty chairs at dinner table. You know, we get a lot of criticism, and when we take the punch, they feel the pain. I could not have had a more supportive family, and I love them very much, so I want to thank you. I want to thank the good people of Norwalk, without whom I would not be here. They have put their trust in me on 13 occasions, 2 for the Board of Ed, 11 times for this office. It is a place that I lived in my entire life, and I am blessed to have lived there. Its diversity, the people, the spirit, the culture there. It's just been a blessing to live there my entire life, and for Barb and I to raise our 3 children there. I thank them very much as well. Also, to speak from you from this very honored position of minority leader, I have to turn to my caucus. I addressed them earlier on today. It wasn't easy. It has been a complete honor to lead you these past 8 years. I might have other titles in my life, a lot of names called, but nothing will be more of an honor than to have been called Minority Leader of the House Republican Caucus. It has been truly a pleasure. I love each and every one of you. We call ourselves a family because, along with our staff, this amazing staff that has so honored me to be assembled behind me, we have acted like a family. We are a family, and we have done so many great things for our party, and most particularly for our state of Connecticut. Thank you all. Thank you. You know, many of us, thank you. Thank you so much. This is a part-time legislature, thank God. And many of us have other occupations, and it takes the patience and support from our employers and our co-workers to be able to be here as well. I have been a practicing attorney for the past 32 years, and I've been blessed with 2 law firm families. My old one in Norwalk, my late partner Donald Reed, my partner Michael Corsello, my staff, people like Trish McGinnis and others who were so supportive of me making the trek up the 75 miles to come here day after day. For the past 15 years, I've been blessed to be a partner at the firm of Brown Rudnick, and they have been so supportive and understanding and patient with the time commitments that have been put upon me. Many of them are in the well of the House, and I want to thank you so much for being so patient. And as I look in the gallery, I said, well, the House, forgive me. As I look in the gallery, I see so many people who I've grown up with. We've grown up together. Our kids have grown up together. I'm talking about our lobbyist community, who I have incredible respect for. These are men and women who are professionals. They are advocates. They know their stuff. We have some of the best in the country. They have educated us as part-time legislators to do the right things on all the issues. It has been an honor to serve with you, and I thank you. I note the nonpartisan staff that is here in the building and has been such a joy to work with, and the partisan staff, the committee staff, etc. What would we do without them? The clerks of the committee, the clerks of the House, the clerks of the Senate, the partisan staff on the other side of the aisle that it's been my pleasure to deal with and work with. And if we don't get along, things don't get done. And I think it's been my privilege to, as leader, to serve with leaders who believed in that and made sure that though we always had an opportunity to voice our differences and state our opinions, that we made sure that the government ran for the good of the people. So I thank them as well. I thank people like who serve us our meals in the cafeteria, the Capitol Police, the wonderful Capitol Police who've ensured our safety, the security crew, the maintenance and custodial crew who clean up after us. This has been part of this wonderful Capitol community that it has been my privilege to be part of for the past 22 years. We are so fortunate to have them. they have made this place a better place and thereby making us better legislators. So I thank all of them, the nonpartisan staff and all of those who serve us every day. You know, they deserve a round of applause. I also want to address my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. You know, a lot of people say, boy, you've been in the minority 22 years. That must have been frustrating. Well, I guess sometimes. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about standing up there every once in a while. But those were not the cards I was dealt. I was, you know, we all on this side of the aisle, we won our elections, and our constituents didn't vote by who's going to be in the majority and who's going to be in the minority. They voted for us to come up here and speak in their behalf. It so happened that we are in the minority, and I've been in the minority my entire career. But I didn't see that as a frustration. I saw it as a challenge. I loved it. Sometimes I drove you guys nuts. I never meant to. It was never personal, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Our goal is to show the people that there is a difference. There is differences of opinion. Our goal is to keep the majority on their toes. And if during the course of my career, I made somebody prepare a little more, prepare a little better, speak a little clearer, or think just before they press that red or green button, then I guess we did our job. That's what I tried to do. But I got to tell you, the friendships that I made, the relationships that I made here have been incredible. I know so many of you on a personal level. We've shared stories about parents and kids and travel and births and deaths and all the stuff in between. It is truly an honor to have served with you. You are an incredible bunch of people. Oh, no, we don't always agree. But I think the state of Connecticut, rest assured that they have representatives in this chamber and upstairs that truly care about them and the state of Connecticut. I truly believe that. I really do. And we're very fortunate to have this system of government and to have the people like yourselves who are here to serve. I thank you for that. I thank you for teaching me so much. You truly taught me so many things over 22 years. And anybody that comes up here thinking they got it all figured out, there's nothing they got to learn, their opinion's all set, shame on you. Keep your mind open. You learn so much. And that's what democracy is all about. My good friends in the Senate, you know, what's the old story? The Republicans are the opposition, but the Senate's the enemy? I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that at all. I've had so many wonderful experiences with the good senators. I could never understand why people who served here wanted to go up there, but hey, who am I? They are wonderful men and women who have, again, served our state so well. And I've had the privilege to serve with some giants, to have this ringside seat on democracy, to sit here back in the day and watch giants like our late Dick Belden, our late Bill Wallenberg, Richard Tulisano, Bill Dyson. These people were giants. I sat in awe as I listened to them. I've had the privilege in this room to hear debates of all kinds, high-level debates. The death penalty debates were the classics, gun control, abortion, all the incredible intelligence and the high-mindedness that went into those debates. And I got to sit here and see that and witness, in some cases, participate. It's an incredible thing. What are the lessons that I take from it? Well, you know the old story, when you first get here, your word is your bond. Boy, they ain't kidding, folks. This is one of the last places where your word must be your bond. Also, respect. We have differences of opinions. God knows we go at it. But we have to respect each other. And obviously, I say that extra sensitive from the minority view. No, we are not in the majority. And yes, there's many of our amendments or ideas that aren't going to get through. But for God's sakes, we got to listen to each other, because when we do put party and politics and power aside, we do good things for the state. We've proven that over and over again. No, we're not always going to agree, but at least we can be tolerant and listen to each other. That's the kind of stuff that I've learned. I also learned never take, this is very serious business here, very serious business, but God forbid when you start taking yourself too seriously. Not a good thing. Learn to laugh at yourself. We're funny people, we do stupid things sometimes. God knows I'm the king of that. Don't ever take yourself too seriously. This is a wonderful, beautiful opportunity we're given. As I said, we do serious business, but don't take yourself too seriously. You know, we also often talk about being true to your principles. God, we all have principles. We're all true to them. That doesn't mean we can't compromise. That does not mean you are casting aside your principles. It means that you recognize that there are people with a different set of principles. But if we are going to do what we're elected to do and move forward as a state, there must be compromise. You're not cheating anyone. You're not disappointing yourself because you've, quote, given up on a principle. You haven't. No one's going to take your principles away. But we're elected to do a job. So that's another thing that I would throw out there. I want to talk about leadership. I've been fortunate, as I indicated, for the last 8 years to lead this wonderful caucus, and it has been my privilege to work with your leaders on the other side of the aisle and both upstairs. Great men and women who have been just as passionate about what they do as we do on this side of the aisle, just as passionate, but also recognize that respect requires for the other side to be heard. I'm talking about leaders on the Republican Party. My former leader, Bob Ward, is here. Bob Ward lied to me to get me in this job. He said, you meet a couple of times a month and you'll never miss a soccer game, and your bottom line at your law firm will go up every year. Liar. But he was truly an example to me. I see my good friend Lou DeLuca, who was leader when I became leader here in the House and taught me so many things and tolerated me. I remember, of course, I saw former Lieutenant Governor and now Commissioner Kevin Sullivan. Had the pleasure of working with him and speakers Eamon Ritter, my dear friend and now law partner Tom Ritter. Speaker Lyons, Moira Lyons, these are great people. Chris Donovan and I had a special relationship, and this guy, Speaker Sharkey, what a true gentleman and what a great leader, and has been a dear friend, and I appreciate working with you. The majority leader, Joe Arasimowicz, just another the real deal, just a great guy and just a pleasure to deal with, and all of your predecessors as well. It's been wonderful. On my side of the aisle, I have my old buddies here. So many of them are leaders. I can't name all of them. Themis Claret has been my right arm since I got here. Vinnie Candelora. I see my former deputies who are here. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Harkins, Hamsey, Hegney, the 3 H's I call them. Wonderful, wonderful people. Pam Sawyer, my sister, we came in together along with Lou and Joe and Terry and Kevin Ryan. We all came in the same class 22 years ago. How come I'm the only one leaving, huh? Art O'Neill and John Piscopo and all the Larry Miller who came before me. My paisans, Tony D'Amelio, Tony Guerrera, Mike Fideli. We had a little Italian caucus. We used to bring cannolis in. It was a wonderful thing. All the wonderful people that I had the opportunity to serve with. The friends I've made, I look across the aisle at my good friend Steve Dargan. We go back a long, long way. I've enjoyed a lot of great times with him. Guys, I don't mean to take you down memory lane. I just want to tell you it's a pretty neat place to be. Enjoy every second of it. You could do good things and still enjoy yourself and meet some of the most incredible people that you ever could. It's been my privilege to have been able to do that. So at the end of this session, and we have a lot of work to do in between, it's my turn to say goodbye. I want you to know that in serving with all of you, you have made me a better legislator, but most importantly, you made me a better person. Thank you.